I'm Hal Humphreys, and this is your weekly briefing from Appraiser eLearning. Appraising real estate can be a bit on the frustrating side. In addition to doing the normal work of being a real estate appraiser, driving around and looking at sales comps, going out and inspecting properties, we have normal lifetime things to deal with. Last week, I was looking at a piece of property out in the middle of nowhere. The real estate agent met me at the property. We spent about an hour and a half measuring all the buildings, getting all the photographs, making all the notes, doing the things that appraisers do. When we got everything wrapped up, I got in my trusty 1999 model Toyota Tacoma and was leaving the property. Now again, this is in the middle of nowhere, and it's a rutted gravel drive. And as I'm driving down the driveway, my truck sat down on its knees. Turns out the ball joint on the passenger side front tire had gone out. I was dead in the water. My initial response, my initial reaction was to be crazy frustrated. It was going to mess up my entire day. I had 8 properties to look at, and I was at my first one at 7:30, and that's where this happened. Once I assessed the situation and decided I was going to work the problem and not freak out, I was able to arrange a tow truck driver to come pick up my truck, drop me off at a friend's house to pick up a car to do the rest of my work, and take my truck into Nashville to be repaired. By the end of the day, I had seen everything I intended to see, and my truck was fixed. So it wasn't the end of the world. But these are the kind of things that appraisers have to deal with on a daily basis, just life things. So I get home, and I'm kind of proud because I kept my calm, I kept cool, and I did the things you have to do to work the problem and get as much work done as possible. I only had to reschedule one appointment, so I considered that a win. And then I get home, and I sit down at my home office and open up my email, and I get 3 revision requests from AMCs. Now, I understand that AMCs have to do a review of your report, and they have to look for problems and things that are wrong or things that they're not comfortable with. It can be frustrating as real estate appraisers to have somebody looking over your work all the time. At the end of the day, I think it does make us better appraisers. But sometimes you get a revision request that you just say, really? This revision request, the appraisal management company had asked us to perform a desktop appraisal under COVID-19 flexibilities. The property owner was an elderly couple, and they were concerned about COVID-19, rightly so, and they asked for a desktop appraisal. And it's a neighborhood that I'm very familiar with. It's a property type that I'm very familiar with, and I felt really comfortable doing a desktop appraisal on this property. I was able to get the homeowner to take pictures of the inside. I got reliable information from third-party sources for all the things I needed to do a desktop appraisal. Now, under the COVID-19 flexibilities, a desktop appraisal is basically premised on the idea that you don't leave your desk. You don't have to go out and take pictures of the subject property. You don't have to go measure the subject property. You don't even have to go take pictures of the sales comparables. And I verified with my client, we are doing a desktop appraisal, right? Yes, absolutely, this is totally fine, we're good to go. And the revision request was, the appraiser did not take original photos of the sales comps. Well, I pulled up their information where the scope of work was agreed to that said you can rely on credible third-party information to fill out the report and provide photographs to illustrate what you're looking at. It was incredibly frustrating to have to take the time to do that. Here's the thing. As real estate appraisers, we are professionals. We agree to a scope of work. We determine the scope of work ourselves and agree with our clients that that's enough to solve the problem to be answered. And once you've agreed on the scope of work, that should be the extent of work you do for that property, right? Well, some AMCs don't see it that way. They're going to ask for more and they're going to ask for more. As a real estate appraiser, your job is to handle that frustration. And I get it. We get email after email after email from appraisal management companies saying, this report is due today, please upload or explain why you're late. And that email comes 2 days before the agreed upon due date. You get an email saying, this revision is due, please upload or explain why you're late. And that email comes 20 minutes after you get the revision request. It's frustrating. They're automated emails. I know they set them up to encourage appraisers to get there as soon as possible, but it can be frustrating. So one of the things I've done is worked on a system where I don't have to respond to those emails on a daily basis. I have my assistant respond to those emails, and that keeps that frustration off of me. The fun thing is, I came about this idea because I'm involved in Dustin Harris's mastermind group. I'm a part of the Appraiser Coaches group of appraisers who help each other define efficiencies, define processes and methods to do a more efficient job of appraising real estate and handing off those automated emails that I don't care who you are. I've been doing this a long time and I take it very seriously. So when I get an email from a client saying that I'm late or that I'm not doing it, getting it done fast enough, I take that personally. They're automated emails. They don't really mean much of anything. So the easiest way to handle that is to hand that off to someone who doesn't have to take it personally. And I came about that because of my involvement with Dustin Harris's Appraiser Coach. If you are out there on your own, running a solo shop, doing the best you can to get as much done as possible and to do it professionally, I'm going to strongly suggest that you check out the Appraiser Coach. It's Dustin Harris's The Appraiser Coach, theappraisercoach.com, and see if it might be a good fit for you. It has certainly helped me out. Over here at Appraiser eLearning, over the next couple of months, we'll be offering several USPAP courses. We break that down into 2 days, 3.5 hours on day 1, 3.5 hours on day 2, kind of over the lunchtime hour. It's a really easy way to get your USPAP requirement taken care of. Also, we offer a number of courses on our online setting where you can take the courses at your own pace, on your own time, on your own schedule. So check out appraiserelearning.com if you need to take care of some continuing education. I'm Hal Humphreys, and this is your weekly briefing from Appraiser eLearning.